Please welcome James Bay!
Oh, I'm losing papers.
Ah, already. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
The last time I saw you, we'd just done a gig, and it was like you'd had 15 Red Bulls and 17 ounces of cocaine. Because I should explain to everybody,
Please do.
I've got a little gig in Clapham, and James came along and did it, and you hadn't performed this year?
I hadn't performed to a crowd since it was the middle of September. I can't remember the date, but 2019.
Yeah.
But I was just like, inside, I was like, oh my, it's been so long.
Yeah.
And like, thinking all those things.
But that was what was so spellbinding about it, was to see someone so talented be a little bit nervous, wander on stage, and then the first of the guitar, everyone went, and you literally went, yes, I am! Like that. And it was, you suddenly, it was like you remembered who you were. It was like watching a superhero that hadn't put his cape on. Like that, and suddenly you were caped up and you were fucking smooth. But watching it, it was so fascinating to see.
Yeah, I was just desperate to be in front of a crowd because it's just the most incredible, magical, like, undescribable experience, as you know. Because it's been, like I say, it's been just over a year that I did my last show. What I sort of didn't realise would be my last gig for so long. And that was a special one. I was invited by a guitar hero of mine, Eric Clapton. He holds a charity concert every few years. They're like these all-star guitar legend shows, and he invited me, he said, you know, we'd love you to be a part of it. So I went along, most incredible weekend of my life. There's all these, like, superstar guitar players. Bill Murray is the compere.
Oh.
There's a whole thing, like, for me about just Bill Murray. I was just this little kid who was obsessed. One of the first movies I sort of remember being in love with and terrified by was Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray, like, announced me on stage. We do our thing.
This is you and, look at this is you and Bill together. What a great photo that
is. A great hat.
What is he like? He strikes me as somebody that would never let you down.
He doesn't let you down.
Yeah.
I mean, he says, he's kind of reading off a sheet, because we hadn't met at the point that I was, like, walking on stage. And he's been announcing everybody on. And he said some really nice stuff. And later on, I was watching somebody else on stage, and he just kind of came by and did the sort of initial, all right, mate, that was great. Like, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you, sort of, you know, young kid amongst all these legends.
Yeah.
But he sort of stopped. And Lucy was with me, my girlfriend was with me, and we were just like, you know, just sort of like freaking out, holding tight to each other. It's Bill Murray, it's Peter Venkman.
Yeah.
It's a Ghostbuster. He's saying really nice things. And he's still standing here, and he's still saying nice things. And then we sort of managed to sort of drop our shoulders and sort of breathe. And he just was the best bloke in the world. There's
so many amazing stories. There's a really great story that Bill Murray likes going up to people in New York, tapping them on the shoulder, spinning them around and going, "Wah!" And then they go like that, and he says, nobody will ever believe you. And then kind of walks away. And you hear so many great stories about him. He's kind of like this legend.
Yeah, yeah. Without the photo, I would expect you not to believe me. It's OK. But, you know, think about that high.
Yeah.
Not knowing that it's going to be over a year until I get to do anything close to that again.
Yeah.
So, like, the energy when you said so casually, just come do a set. I'm like, OK, yeah, sure, I'll do it. It'll be great.
But it was, what I found so fascinating is I've seen you in a stadium in Barcelona. I've seen you in a stadium I've seen you at Twickenham supporting the Rolling Stones. It was so funny, that gig, honestly. There was this moment where Mick Jagger came out and just went, yeah, who got the 283 from Teddington? Like that. And the fucking whole crowd was like, what? He went, yeah, that bus was all right. We fell on it once, didn't we, Keith? I just found that so funny. What's it like to play a stadium with the Stones? What is that like?
It's kind of funny. It's kind of ridiculous. So I'm a massive Rolling Stones fan. You know, so many people are. To be on that stage in front of that crowd, like, the crowd are a bigger deal than any support act at a Rolling Stones show.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Full shivers.
Yeah,
the greatest moment.
The whole gig was just amazing. You've had so many moments with, like, heroes. Like, I remember me and my brother met David Gray when I was 12 and Daniel was 10. And I was a huge fan of his, and I just was stunned, couldn't say anything. He just walked past us at Old Trafford. It was mad. And my brother's like 10. not even a fan of David Gray, but marches up to him and goes, "David!" Put his hand out and went, "Cracking musician." He took his hand. It was this bizarre moment where David Gray sort of shakes this child's hand and he goes, "Keep it up." Like that, and kind of walked off. And I really want to meet David Gray so I can kind of go, "Do you ever remember that moment at Old Trafford?" He's like, "Fucking hell." Because I bet he would.
Sure.
Just that moment when a tiny ginger boy went, "Keep it up, son." We're talking about performing. We should chat about this. You've got a new gig, which is very exciting.
Yes, yeah.
Which well, you can explain it. It takes place at Shakespeare's Globe, doesn't it? And it's a live gig.
It is a live gig, but it's sort of not a live gig like any of us want it to be. There's no crowd. I'm trying to reach people all around the world. So you can buy tickets now to this show and watch it from anywhere in the world. And it's a Shakespeare's Globe, which is sort of, I don't know, one of the most sort of historically legendary performance spaces, which is a very exciting thing.
When is that out?
It's on the 21st of October.
Cool.
And it's the Globe. It's kind of got all these different sort of dimensions about it and its amazing history. And it's very much a home to acting. I am not an actor. So I'm excited to sort of bring some music to the space. And I'm going to try, short of kneeling with a skull, I'm going to, in a sort of Shakespeare way, I'm going to try and sort of going to try and sort of nod towards the space that we're in.
Oh,
and
nice.
Reinterpret some of my stuff for this special show and do some stuff I haven't sort of done before. That's all I'll say.
And how can people watch it?
You buy a ticket. You can go online and you get a link and you get cosy on the sofa, get it on the big screen and go for it. And, cheer as loud as you can.
Because we know each other very well, I sort of feel like I know everything. But I read up about you, and I didn't know this.
Have you Googled me?
I Googled you, which is weird to Google a mate. And we have something in common.
What we got?
We both started out as Trolley Boys.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were a Trolley Boy.
Yeah.
What was your patch? What was your beat?
Sainsbury's in Hitchin.
Oh, Tesco Thornbury. Here's a question. Do you now, when you see trolleys left out...
Shudder.
Shudder.
Yeah.
Do you put them back? Do you put them away out of respect for the trolley boy you used to be?
The only reason I don't...
You son of a bitch!
Hang on. The only reason
why don't you just take a shit in your 15-year-old self's mouth?
I had to push those days far behind me.
So you don't even go near the trolley?
My car park,
yeah,
for my experience, on my patch, whole thing was uphill. All the trolleys, I'm scarred. All the trolleys, I just have nightmares regularly about these trolleys just rolling, and I've got to chase them to the bottom, and it's endless, and it's enough. I've got to get them back up there. But that was my experience.
What was the most you ever got in a row? How many did you get?
This is where it gets really
Yeah.
I don't know, 10 or 15.
Oh, okay, that's better than me.
What?
Yeah, me and the Tesco crew got an 8-ball going once.
I think I exaggerate with the 15. It was probably closer to 12. Definitely, I did a 10.
We had an 8, and we hit a car. Do you know what I mean? What was your lowest moment when you were working on the trolleys? Do you want me to go first, or do you want to go?
No, you go first.
My lowest moment was I was so hungry and I had no money that somebody had left some poppadoms in a trolley, and I ate those poppadoms from the trolley, but they were the poppadoms that you had to cook in the oven, so they were unripened poppadoms, and I still ate them. Age 21.
I never went that. I don't know if I sort of got to that place. Not so much my lowest moment as just my weirdest moment. Is a guy drove in, this Hagrid man from Harry Potter, looked very similar, drove in this tiny car, and this was my last day. Half the reason I remember this was my last day pushing the trolleys, and he drove in quickly and turned into a space, but there was something in the front grille of his car. Yeah. And he got out, and he looked like a farmer, and I thought, he's kind of come from the sticks there. He's come from the countryside into the little town centre. And an old lady sort of came up to him and said, in the front of your car. He went to the front of the car. There was a pheasant, hanging in the front of his car, neck, head in the grill, body hanging out. Pulled it out, and it was still alive. Oh, my God. He went, it'll be all right, I'll get it out. He pulled it out carefully. Pulled it out. And the old lady was just sort of stood there looking on, pulled it out, checking it out. And it sort of was twitching, so he just went bang on the bonnet of his car. Killed it. He said, "I'll have that for dinner."
Wow.
Walked off into...
What, and then did he not go in there I don't know why I've come here. I've got to. Like that. He just walked off.
He went and got some sauces.
That. Yeah, exactly. You got anything that will go with the recently deceased livestock? What a fucking great story.
Yeah.
So there's a gig you can watch. The album will be out next year.
The album is coming, but yeah, in the meantime, there's me and the band live at the Globe, 21st of October. I'm super excited.
Brilliant. Ladies and gentlemen, the fantastic James Bay!